embarrassment. We all had moments where we felt embarrassed, and we all know exactly how embarrassment feels like. And I remember one moment very vividly when I felt embarrassed, but I also felt embarrassment in the whole room. And that was in high school. And it was caused by one word that the entire high school class went silent. And if you know high school classes, it's very unlikely for them to get very silent. So that word was HPV. And if you don't know what HPV is, well, you're lucky, congratulations, because then you didn't have an embarrassing moment like me, sitting in biology class, Googling HPV with all your friends around you, reading words, in puberty, by the way, like, ooh, genital warts and cervical cancer. Very embarrassing. Felt very uncomfortable reading those words. All of my friends in high school, puberty, felt very uncomfortable, felt very embarrassed, ashamed of reading those words. Very awkward. But then I was thinking, why are we embarrassed? It's something normal, and it's something where we have a vaccination. Actually, why is no one talking about this? And I realized that most of the time, when there's a topic that we are ashamed of or we feel embarrassed talking about, that's where we need to look closer and change our perspective on. HPV, the Austrian Cancer Support, had a study that says that 80% of all sexual active people have HPV at some point and get infected by this virus. And if you don't know what HPV is, HPV can cause cancer and genital warts. And this is why you should get vaccinated and inform yourself about this. And HPV is one of those topics where, as I've mentioned before, we feel ashamed, we try to maybe laugh it away, we feel uncomfortable, we don't really like to talk about it a lot, and that's why many people don't know what HPV actually is, because it's a taboo topic. And so my friends and I, we wanted to change this. And we started the HPV Youth Council. And the HPV Youth Council is an organization where we changed this whole embarrassment, and we took the embarrassment and changed it into something cool. But how did we do this, especially with teenagers who don't really like to talk about sexual health and sexual topics, and especially not about genital warts? How did we do this? We took a peer-to-peer system. Because, if your teacher or a professor or a doctor stands in front of a bunch of young people and says, hey, we're going to talk about sex and sexual health, it's kind of awkward and shameful. But if you take friends or a peer-to-peer system and you have someone your age that talks with you, that actually is so empowering to inform yourself about your health, to get vaccinated against cancer, then it becomes something cool. And so we started this with a social media campaign, and we used humor to reach those young people. And we used TikTok trends and funny videos and maybe a bunch of memes to get those young people to be engaged with these topics. We even rented one of the biggest clubs in Austria with DJs and cool speakers to make this topic something cool and not shameful. We took something that young people rather do never talk about and get red in their heads and made it into something where they dance, where they say, cool, I want to do this. And what our initiative did is we also vaccinated 400 people in this room, here in the Social Hub, once. And it was such an incredible experience because literally children of anti-vaccines parents that says, don't get vaccinated and never get vaccinated, it's bad for you, came to us and said, hey, we saw your social media videos and we wanted to get vaccinated because of you. And we thought, hey, I wanted to inform myself about my own body. I feel empowered by this. And this is what we reached. So if you have a topic where you feel embarrassed to talk about, but you really want to change something, because embarrassment is a mirror, and if I feel ashamed, I should start talk about this, here's my 3 tips on how you can do this. Number 1, name it out loud, okay? And so that I'm not the only one here embarrassed in this room, I want to exercise this with you. Can you all say genital warts, please? Amazing. See, if you name it out loud once, you see it's not that bad. It's not that embarrassing, actually. And if you do it once of the time, like a lot, like I did today, you could actually do a drinking game of how many times did I say genital warts. It's not that bad. And the second thing is humor. Actually, what I practice with you right now as well. But also, I remember one story where I was in school and I was talking about, hey, you should get vaccinated, you can get genital warts, and someone started giggling. And I was like, yeah, it's kind of funny and shameful, but also so was puberty, and we all got over it. And everybody started laughing, and the whole room was a bit lighter, because humor is human, and that's how you can reach people the easiest. And the third thing is to see the purpose of why you want to talk about this. For me, it's seeing my incredible team, one of them is here today, and seeing the impact that we do, and seeing that we can get people to get vaccinated, to inform themselves, and also save people from cancer. And that gives me the reason, that's my purpose on why I talk about this. But you can transfer this to any other topic. If you want to talk about mental health, and you're embarrassed to do this, maybe think about your purpose, why it's important to you. And my last CTA to all of you is, if you have people in your life, you can practice of what I told you today and talk to your friends, your coworkers, your mom, your daughter, whoever about HPV and why they should get vaccinated, or inform yourself, or about any other topic that you might feel embarrassed about talking, but when you do it, you see it's actually not that bad. Thank you so much.